Growing ginger in your own backyard is easy. I just harvested a bunch of ginger root. Now let me go ahead and show you how to use it in some ginger ale and ginger beer and fermented ginger. Hey guys, thanks for coming back to Louisiana Simple Living. Ginger is one of my absolute favorite plants that I grow in my garden. It's really easy to grow if you're a beginner gardener. Man, if you like ginger, go ahead and grow some. It's really simple. All you gotta do is go and get a piece of ginger from the supermarket, grocery store. Come home, you can cut it in half or even in thirds, which is what I did. And you go ahead and plant each one of those and watch over a number of months. You'll see the stalks coming up and you'll have some incredibly fresh tasty ginger to do what you want to at your house. They don't really do well with a freeze. And so the actual plant, I'd already harvested too, but it stays pretty good, as you can tell, under the ground as a root. Dug it up, cleaned it off. Let me go ahead and try to get some of this cleaned up. Now I will do three things today. I will go ahead and make some ginger ale. I'll go ahead and make some ginger beer, which is basically the same process, but you let it go ahead and ferment a few days. And then I'm going to do some longer term fermenting of ginger. Don't forget about my Spring Garden 101 series. It's 11 videos that goes through the whole process of sowing your seeds, planting your plants, making a new raised bed, all those kind of things. Check that out. It's very informative. Yeah, my goal for 2021, which is 2022 as well, is to go ahead and get 1,000 of you viewers to go ahead and start a new backyard garden. And again, that Spring 101 series will take you all the way through the process of doing that. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, like that video. Feel free to share it. Let's get started. Alright, time to go ahead and grate some up. Alright, finished up grating the ginger root. The next step is to go over towards the stove. I'm going to head that way. The recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of the grated ginger. Let's add that. And I'm going to double or triple it. Let's see how much I got here. We're going to quadruple it. How about that? So I'm going to go ahead and make 4 of these. Alright, so I added that. So I need to add the water, which it's half a cup. So I got 2 cups of water. And since it's 1 cup of sugar, we'll go 4 cups of sugar in here. And 4 cups. Alright, so the next step is we got to take, this is the sugar, water, and the grated ginger. So what we want to do is go ahead and give it a little bit of temperature, bring it up to medium heat. And what I want to do is go ahead and keep mixing it till all of the sugar gets dissolved in the liquid. And it'll become a ginger syrup basically. But what we'll do is we'll let it steep for about an hour. Then we'll go to the next steps. And that'll really allow that syrup to absorb all the ginger flavor. Alright, got up to a good boil. All the sugar's melting in. What we're going to do is go ahead and cut the tip off and let it steep for an hour. We're going to go ahead and drain the ginger syrup. Alright, so at this point, ginger syrup, you can make ginger ale. So what we're going to make first is go ahead and make some ginger ale. Alright, put a little ice in here. All we got to do is add 3 or 4 tablespoons of the syrup. Half, it'll work. So I'll put about 3 tablespoons. How about that? And 3, and let's go 3 1/2. How about that? And then all we got to do, this is some club soda. All we got to do is add club soda. Let's see if it tastes like ginger ale. Man, perfectly like ginger ale. It's excellent. Alright, we can stop right there. I could go ahead and put the syrup, ginger syrup, in a container, put it in the refrigerator, and make ginger ale with it. Now I want to go one step further. I want to go ahead and ferment it some. So that's what we're going to do next. Alright, so right now we're going to make some fermented ginger beer. All I want to do is go ahead, I've got some lemons, I want to get some fresh juice. That's what I'm doing right now. Alright, so got a good bunch of fresh lemon juice here. Alright, just going to make the ginger beer that we're going to then ferment. So we'll start with, and I've got about 1/3 of the syrup that I had left over. Then I'm going to add 7 cups of water. Three tablespoons of lemon juice. This is a 1/2 tablespoon, so I'll just kind of 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's fresh lemon juice. This is nothing but just dry yeast. 1/8 of a teaspoon. Alright, let me mix that all in. Alright, after a lot of work, I got my first one done. This is basically, it's called Gari or G-A-R-I, but it's homemade pickled ginger. So I got 8 ounces here. I'm going to cut them up into chunks. Then we're going to actually sprinkle some salt on it and let it sit in the salt for a little while. We'll come back after that. Alright, so we're going to get 1.5 teaspoons of sea salt, add it to it. Let's do that. Alright, 1.5. And all we want to do is just kind of mix it so that the salt gets on everything. Alright, it's covered. So what we're going to do is let this sit for 30 minutes. Alright, so we had the 8 ounce of just kind of cubed ginger root. Now what we want to do is go ahead and put this in a jar to ferment. This is for the salted ginger cubes, the sauce we're going to pour in the jar over on top of it to kind of help with fermentation. It's a cup of rice vinegar. Let's add that. And we're also going to add 1/3 cup of sugar. Then we'll kind of melt this in. Turn the temp up a little bit. Once we get the sugar melted in, we can go and add it to our salted cubed ginger. So this is going to be another fermentation technique to use with ginger. Alright, now we got the rice in the sugar solution. We're going to add it to our jar here. Just to try to make it as easy as possible. Pour it in this funnel. Perfect. Now what I'll do also is I have one of these glass weights. What we do is we set that down. So we'll put the top on it. As it starts fermenting, it'll start bubbling up through there. And these we add just a few more ingredients to, and now it's going to become ginger beer. Finally is pieces of ginger, sea salt on it for 30 minutes, and this is rice vinegar and sugar solution added to here. So all of these will ferment. These will not ferment. This is really good. So hey, thanks for coming back to Louisiana Simple Living in today. One of the key things about why I love having a garden is I get to take these fresh ingredients and come in the kitchen and make something good out of it. Make something delicious to eat for me and my family. So ginger is an incredibly easy plant to grow. You don't have to go do anything difficult. You can go get a piece of ginger from the supermarket, grocery store. You can cut up a couple pieces, plant it out there, and it's going to grow all through the spring and through the summer. And you're going to have just a whole mess of ginger root like I showed you earlier. And don't forget that my Spring Garden 101 series is out there. It takes you all the way through the process from planting a garden, putting that garden together, new raised beds, putting the soil in, all that, all the way through the process. Check that out. I also got a link to another video I did on ginger last year, and that was different ways to preserve it in the freezer and so forth. Check that one out too. If you haven't as yet, please subscribe, like that video, and feel free to share it. As I always say, make memories now rather than later. Make memories with your family and friends. And as always, I will see you on the next video.